Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell is the 6th Tremors movie. I have trekked through all of the Tremors movies leading up to A Cold Day in Hell. This finds Burt Gummer, once again played by Michael Gross, who's appeared in all of the Tremors films, and his son Travis, played by Jamie Kennedy, in a location that is very different than their small town of Perfection. Usually graboids, ass blasters, and screechers are located in the warm territory of Perfection. Here they're going to the cold in Canada to fight off these graboids that are also being used as living weapons. So it's a little unique and a little different from a typical Tremors movie, but it still manages to find its way back to the roots and the same old of the Tremors movies. The Tremors movies aren't the best movies ever made. They're just made for pure fun. But Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell is just like every other Tremor movie. Even though they're traveling to Canada and it's very cold there, the location and the scenery still manages to feel like the small town of Perfection from the previous movies, and nothing really about this movie stands out and is any different than any of the Tremors movies. By the time you're into your 6th movie in your franchise, you're either going to space, to the hood, Las Vegas, Manhattan, different places because you ran out of ideas. The Tremors movies always, to me, felt the same. They always have a graboid, screecher, an ass blaster, a bunch of corny dialogue, Burt Gummer shooting at graboids left and right, everybody blowing things up. And even though I find that to be fun, I've wanted something different throughout all of these movies. The 4th one was a little different when it was about the origins of the graboids, but now here it still feels the same. Even though the title hints at it being cold in a different location, it still manages to be the same movie. And yes, some of the moments are a lot of fun, but the director tries to seem to be a little more serious with this movie, trying to manage to throw in some corny jokes and corny scenes, like a guy peeing on top of a big structure, or talking about how your balls are stainless steel. There's so many moments that remind me of the older Tremors movies with its corny jokes and its ridiculous dialogue. But the director also tries to manage to be a little bit serious at times with the score and how the graboids are shown on screen. So it's a little bit different at that, but also the seriousness of the movie with the score and the action sequences don't mesh well with some of the corny moments. When you had the previous Tremors movies, it was dumb, and you can tell it was just being pure fun. Here you can tell that he was trying to be serious with it, but also managed to have those jokes in play, and they just didn't mesh well together. So Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell is a ridiculous movie. If you enjoyed the previous Tremors movies, you're going to enjoy this one. The dialogue is ridiculous. None of it makes sense. It's just way over the top. Michael Gross once again just captures Burt Gummer, and he is one of my favorite characters in all of the series, as he is the star of the Tremors movies, and I really like his character in here. Still feels like the very first time we saw him with Kevin Bacon in the first Tremors movie. But at this point in the franchise, I expect something different. I don't expect the same old, and even though they're in Canada and it's supposed to be cold, it still looks like a hot town of Perfection that they've been in previous. And I just want something different at this point, and we didn't get that. So once again, we get a repetitive Tremors movie. And if you guys don't mind that, you might enjoy this movie. There are some moments I did enjoy in this movie. It's not a bad movie, but it's very repetitive, and it's something I've seen before. It's nothing new. But if you like the previous movies, like Back to Perfection, Aftershock, Bloodlines, you might enjoy A Cold Day in Hell. I'm going to go ahead and give Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell, the 6th Tremors movie, a C. Have you guys seen this new Tremors movie? What do you think about it compared to the previous 5 Tremors movies? Stay tuned. This week I will be ranking all 6 Tremors films from worst to best. Make sure to stay tuned for that video. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.